What's going on, guys? Bo here. Welcome to the first guide that I have ever created, and I'd like to say that this guide will be on construction training with mahogany tables at max efficiency rates, and I'll tell you everything that you need to know. But first of all, you will need to know the cost formulas for how this will work. So first of all, you will be using mahogany planks, and you need 6 planks to create one table, which costs 13,698 GP. This is converted into 840 construction XP or 1,680 with a steel and creations hammer. This calculates down to 16.3 GP per XP, which in my opinion is definitely worth it due to the insanely fast speeds that construction actually produces. With steel and creations hammer, this will be about 8 GP per XP. In my opinion, this is the only skill where you should pay full out to get it. So before you can use this guide, first of all, click onto your tool belt and put inside your tool belt a hammer and a saw. Put both of those in, and that will restrain yourself some inventory spaces, which, as you can see, I have 4 inventory spaces and 24 mahogany things. Of course, if you are using hammers, I will show you at the end how best to lay your inventory out. Once you place the hammer and the saw into the tool belt, you will then need to retrieve and put some GP into your money pouch. I would recommend at least 1 mil, depending on how long you stay there. But if you are just staying there, feel free to just put all your money in there at once. But you'll be paying out maybe 10,000 GP every 2 minutes. So a decent amount would definitely be helpful and would definitely save you some time. Overall, just put all your money in there, as you can easily take it out at any time and it's just more efficient. Finally, you will need the supplies to train construction, which are, from this guide, mahogany planks. Of course, place them all you buy them all and then place them all into the bank. As you can see here, I have 69,000 mahogany planks in the bank, which are all the planks I need for construction. Now, before you start, take out 24 planks and a house teleport to get to your house. Make sure you do have a demon butler for this method, but once you've got your planks in the bank, your money in the pouch, and your teleport tablets and the chisel and the hammer and the saw in the tool belt, teleport to your house and then enter building mode as soon as you get there, which I'm already in. Once you're in building mode, first of all, go over to your table space and talk to your butler to get him to stand next to you so you can train fast. Now, once you do this, you will set the butcher to fetch from the bank more and then mahogany planks. And once you get mahogany planks, you will type in 24 and press enter. Of course, I have an inventory full at the moment, so I don't need to do that yet. The next part of this guide you will need to pay attention to, because this will show you how to maximize your efficiency rates of training construction. I will show you everything in not really slow motion, but one by one, and then I'll stack them all together to show you how fast it really is. But if I bring my XP counter out, then you can see how fast the XP is. But first of all, to build the table, all you do is right click and build table, and normally the picture of the mahogany table is just by where your mouse would normally be, so you can easily access it. So if I do that, and then you can remove it. And then once you've removed it, of course, just to test it again, you can just click straight on it. You don't even need to move your mouse, and it's definitely the fastest. So there's some examples of that. But of course, doing that is extremely slow. So now I'm going to show you how to do it very fast. To do the method I am about to show you, I highly recommend that you turn your private off, you leave any chats you are in to do this, as any PMs will slow you down significantly, because you'll be needing to pay almost 100% attention and doing an action almost every second to keep the XP rate. So obviously, if you don't want to be paying attention fully and you would prefer a chat every now and then, leave your things on, but if you are getting PM'd, it will slow you down. And remember, every time you slow down, this will add on time to when you will finally get the goal. First of all, set everything out. So first, build yourself a table and then remove it, and then do it again. And then once you've done that, get your butler to get yourself 24 mahogany planks. And if you do have hammers, I will come on to that later on of how many you need. So once you've got 12 left, go onto the mahogany planks and then type in 24 and then finish off building these tables. Now that you've set that out, when you actually say fetch from the bank, it will say fetch another 24 mahogany planks, which is what you want. And now it's time for the XP to come quickly. So before starting, hold down 1 on the keyboard and just hold it down. This is where PMing will definitely slow you down. But if you hold down 1, when it comes down to the actions, you can do them extremely fast, which I will show now. First, you make the table and then you remove it, and it's as easy as that. You don't have to do anything else. And that was 1 table created. And then once you create the second table, once you remove it, as you are removing it, fetch from bank, and if you still hold 1 down, it will fetch another 24 mahogany planks with nothing done. Now when you come down here, if you are going to be going for max efficiency, I will tell you how to stack the game ticks together. So now, how to get max efficiency. Once you are building your tables, first of all, you build your first one and you remove it. Then as you are removing the second table, as you click remove, click fetch from bank, and then click build again, and you can stack the game ticks together to get yourself max XP, which in that second, I actually did So I have slow-mode this clip, but as you can see, I create a table, then as I remove it, I send the guy to send 24 mahogany planks, and then I turn around and I create a new table, all in the space of about 1 second. On every 8th trip, the butler will ask for 10,000 GP, which is where the money from the pouch comes from. Now, to make sure this does not waste you any time, the following thing is very hard to do. Even I can't do it every time, but if you can master it, you'll be able to train construction completely perfectly. This is the one thing, apart from game lag, that slows me down. So first of all, you will build one table, and then this is the first table in the inventory. Once you remove it, you will talk to the butler, hit enter, hit spacebar, and then click 1. And if you can do that quick enough, as soon as he says that, you can turn around, create another table, remove that one, then fetch from the bank. And that, you can do all that in under 3 seconds as shown now. Even then, as you saw, that was definitely not a perfect run, as I did actually misclick the table, but it does take practice. Pretty much as you watch this video, it does take a lot of practice to get used to it, but once you get used to it, you can do it fine. Like right now, I am talking to you on live commentary, doing everything perfectly fine, because it is actually extremely easy to do the majority of this once you've got used to the timing. And there's one more thing I would like to say before I end this video. As you remove the second table to allow the butler to fetch from the bank, you actually have a spare second. As you will see here, I will pull the screen up for a third time. But unfortunately, it is impossible to create 3 at once, because as you click that one to do it, this will interrupt the tick and it will cancel it anyway, even if you do have the supplies to do 3 left. So the maximum to do is actually 2, which shows that this will be the fastest method for XP rates. To counter this, as you are removing the second table to send him to the bank, you actually need to wait about 1 second from the removal of the 4th table made before building again. As you see, I wait 1 second, and then as I create them again, they all appear in my inventory at perfect times, which allows me to continue training with maximum XP rates. And as you'll see here, I did actually miss a tick, but I should be able to still get the table in time, on time with the game ticks. There is also a problem when the butler walks underneath you and then walks out. That is also a problem to your XP rates. This doesn't happen often, and a way to prevent it is you just run up here quickly and then run back, and then to move him out of the way. Finally, if you are actually using Stealing Creations hammers, how to do it is to take 10 at once. But as you see, in this clip, I'll be using dragon daggers in place of hammers because I don't have any, and I don't think it's worth getting them for construction because it is so fast, and all XP rates will be placed in the description at the end to show the comparison. But the best way to do this is to change one of them into a pickaxe or a hatchet, wield that one, and then get an extra log out. This allows you to have 10 on you at once, also a teleport to get to the bank. This gives you 18 to create 3 tables and then the 9 hammers in your inventory. Plus, once you've used the teletab, you can take the pickaxe or hatchet off and then change it into a hammer, and then you can go on constructing like that. It's just the same method, except you ask for 18 from the butler, and instead of asking him to get the bank on the second invent, you ask him on the first. Finally, I'm just going to place about a minute of me doing the skill at maximum speeds with in-game audio for you to understand if it gives you any extra help on seeing a practical of how it works. Thanks for watching my construction guide, guys. This is actually the first guide that I have, well, my first skill guide I have ever created, so I definitely hope it proves useful to some of you. I hope you enjoyed, and really, now I'm going to place the XP rates at the end, and including Stealing Creations hammers versus normal hammers, so I'm about to go Zarfot on everyone.